So today we're going to be taking a look at Darth Maul based upon his Clone Wars appearance of Season 7 for the Vintage Collection. And it's a great action figure overall. There is one thing I find questionable about it. It might be just my sample though, and I'll get into that a little later. But overall, it's one of the best Darth Mauls you can get to date. And it's the second particular type of Darth Maul that's been released in the Vintage Collection. But anyways, we'll take a look at the packaging first. This is one of the best TVC packagings I've seen in a long time, I think. This is one of the best, at least in the last several years. This image here reminds me of Darth Maul from The Phantom Menace, as he holds his lightsaber like that. I imagine this is highly inspired by that. And it looks like a realistic interpretation. Sometimes Hasbro goes back and forth between an animated look and a more realistic look. This one looks to be more of a realistic look to me. This is figure 201. And I do have most of these. I'll be reviewing Ahsoka very soon. I do have the Off-World Jawa as well. I'll get to him soon. Boba Fett's already reviewed on my channel, if you want to check that out. I will get around to Echo eventually with the ARC Trooper pack. And same with Bespin Leia. I'll review her eventually. And these two passed up on. Not really interested in owning either of the two characters. And we get 500,000 Grokus these days. So that's the package. So for the action figure itself, there's really, there's a lot going for it, but there's not a whole lot it comes with. It's just mostly the action figure and the lightsaber. But this is undoubtedly one of the best Darth Maul head sculpts that we have to date, if not the best. Not sure if they're going for a Ray Park look or if they're going more off of his animated look. It looks like it could be Darth Maul is how he appeared in The Phantom Menace somewhat. And they actually got his horns the proper size too on the Phantom Menace version of Darth Maul. They seem to be exaggerated a little bit, which is unique in its own way. But it's nice to have a more accurate look as well. Face printing turned out very nicely on this, as it usually does on newer face sculpts. So in terms of the articulation, has a very good range in his head. Can't get a whole lot of side-to-side motion out of it, but it can do what it's intended to do at least. He has a hinged shoulder as well. Good range there, and then hinge elbow. It goes about 90 degrees, and then hinge wrist. That one goes up and down, and this one goes up and down as well. Good hinge at the torso there. You can get a good range out of it. Hinged hips, swivel thigh, and then hinged knees, and hinged ankles as well. In terms of accessories, he just comes with his lightsaber and that's it. He does not have a removable hilt, unfortunately. But this is an appropriate size double-bladed lightsaber, I think. The other one on the Phantom Menace version, I think, is a little bit shorter. And as you could probably tell already, you can take these apart. Great silver detailing on these. The only complaint I have about the action figure is in the legs a little bit. It feels more like ratchet joints to me. And as you can see, it almost feels like it's going to break apart there if I bend it in a certain way. That's one of the problems I have with a lot of the newer vintage collection action figures, is some of the joints feel like they're going to break off and snap off very easily. And Maul is unfortunately one of those, just in the legs mostly. And because it feels a little bit more like ratchet joints, it's somewhat hard to get him in a very good pose. I have to use a stand for him, otherwise he will never stand, unfortunately, no matter how much I try. Maybe it's just my sample. I haven't really heard of anyone complaining about it so much. But just something to keep an eye out on. And be careful with yours if you have a somewhat similar situation. Really like how they did his eyes there. Very good detailing. Has that menacing look to him. But other than that, that's really all there is to say about this release. It's a great action figure overall. I think, if I recall reading correctly, at the time of this video, shortly a few days ago, Hasbro just discontinued this action figure being released through Entertainment Earth. So if you had this pre-ordered, there's a good chance it's been canceled up until now, and you're probably going to have to find them on eBay, unfortunately. So if you've been looking to get one, definitely this is the time to get one before the prices skyrocket on it. Who knows if they will, but I assume they will. Most vintage collection action figures, once they're out of production, they usually go up in price significantly, unless you're like Snoke, for example. And just to give you another look, what he looks like beside his troopers here. And they all look very nice together. I'm very glad to have all three of these. Would be nice if we can get a Sideshow press eventually to round up the look from season 5 of the Clone Wars. I believe it was season 5. But who knows? With Hasbro, anything can go. Maybe we'll get a Savage someday, maybe we won't. But anyways, that's Darth Maul from the Clone Wars line for the vintage collection. I would highly recommend this action figure for you. Again, if you've been looking for him, now is probably the best time more than ever to find him, especially if you're on a budget and you want one for basically retail price. So anyways, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews in the future. There's plenty more to come. And if you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching.